Hey guys, Trevor John coming to another Diablo 4 video. We have been a little bit slow as to getting back into it and really playing. Once again, work, life, it's hard. I do represent more of that casual, the dad type vibe for game time, playtime, on top of doing content and managing two YouTube channels and working constantly. It's just hard, right? Like it's a lot of work that's going on here to keep everything going. The point of this video though is going to be like, hey, how is season 2 going? How do we feel about it? Overall in general, how happy am I with how like I'm really like progressing? If it feel good, does it feel bad? Are we making like massive leaps and gains? Were there changes to the game that seem to make a big difference? I think that's a very key one that I want to talk about right now. Mainly because I know a lot of people were like, you know what? I've noticed some changes, or I've heard a lot of rumors like, oh man, this was terrible, or oh, this was even better than last league, so on and so forth. I kind of want to just address it a little bit, talk about how I feel about it, how it's been helping me in general, see how you guys are feeling about it, see if you guys have been enjoying it, and yeah, stay tuned. Hope you guys enjoy the video. All right, so first thing that I want to kind of pull out and bring up here, I honestly, as a content creator, I got to do my due diligence to really dive in and see what are they updating, what are they changing, and whatnot. As a general consumer, do you really want to do that every time? Not really. You kind of just play the game, and cool surprises are cool surprises. With that being said, there have been a few cool surprises, like for example, stash location being in multiple locations. This is really helpful, especially when, where is it? QOL? Yeah. When we teleport here, there's several locations where the stash is at. That was one of my biggest pet peeves before, was like, hey, inventory management was horrendous at launch. Didn't get any better by season 1 and season 2. Now we're starting to place things randomly, right? Like we got a stash next to the vendors here and the weapon. That's good to have. We got the normal location, and then we also have it over here on the left side. Having 3 access, or what is this, 4 access to these is huge. Makes a big difference in progression, and it makes big like quality of life improvements. Speaking of quality of life improvements, the other thing that I really like is the horse, right? So the horse is one of those aspects, the key aspects in the game, where it's like, oh, this is awesome. I have a horse, I can do XYZ, I can yada. Now, a lot of you guys would remember that, where am I going? I don't want to go down here. Let's just teleport here and then move around. You guys probably remember like, hey, last season, I couldn't just ride my horse whenever I wanted. If I got off of it, there was a cooldown. It wasn't necessarily the greatest, right? Like it wasn't one of those things where you're like, oh yeah, I'm gonna really utilize the horse constantly. It was one of those where like, yeah, you could use the horse and you were gonna use the horse. However, if you wanted to get down here and then get back on your horse, before it'd be like a 30-second time delay. Now it's like 5 seconds and then boom, I'm back on it. I'm going around here, I'm doing the thing. The horse stacking, the movement feels so much better than it did before, especially for those that are on controller. So if you were on controller and you were doing this, it was not the same for stacking. And I noticed it with my Azeron. As you can see, that thing that's in the bottom right here, I use my Azeron for all my gaming, and it gets registered as both a controller, keyboard, and a mouse. So I can use all those functions on one device. And what would happen is if I use handoff here and I use my analog to drive, because you can do that with this device, it would turn around and register as the keyboard, and I couldn't stack my movement. It wouldn't stack, it wouldn't work properly. Now that works good, we're good to go. Now the other thing too is the simple fact that the major thing that I hated in the last one that's so annoying, that's like, oh hey, they're gonna hot fix it, we're gonna be able to break barricades. For example, barricade, boom, we broke it. Why this took them so long to implement, I don't know. When they told us they were going to do it before, but I'm so glad that they did, because the one thing I hated the most is like, if I got to run around, I haven't done all these, like, you know, I haven't made it all the waypoints yet. Just one of those things where like, hey, I'll get to them when I get to them. It's not something I just want to waste a whole lot of time, but it always irritated me because one, quality of life was just horrendous, right? We're doing these moving around, we're doing other things in the game here. I want to fast terrain or travel this stuff around, right? oh crap, I can't because someone knocked me off my horse. Now I gotta wait 30 seconds for my horse to respawn. Or, oh man, they put up a barrier and I can't just move around it, instead of being able to just break through it because you're on a freaking horse, right? Little things like that were pretty rough, but I feel like this season, they've really felt great. Having these little minor quality of life increases has been great. On top of that, like even having like the extra storage space for gyms has been amazing. Like not having gyms clutter it. For example, when I would go into my inventory beforehand, I would buy all the stashes here, right? I would buy them all, and I'd have one complete one full of gems, and then at least 2 full of malignants. Well, one, malignants aren't in this league, which they shouldn't be, right? That should be a season mechanic. I'm glad it's not. It was a good mechanic in season 1. Season 2 is vampiric stuff, and I like it. And I love that it goes all in your inventory. It's not taking up your space. Stash tabs are a thing. They're must have, they're must utilize. I like the way this is kind of done. I think this was definitely well thought out, well implemented. I feel like some of these are a little broken, depending on your build. Definitely makes the game a lot easier. I'm not opposed to it though. I really am not, because once again, this is more of a casual game, and having things that are broken is kind of nice, not gonna lie. It makes you feel strong. Everyone likes to feel strong, empowered, and really knock things out, right? But then also you can see here under aspects, we got the normal things right here that we would always have regardless. Now, I think, what is it? Where are your gems stored at? Socketables, no, that's just filtering for gear, which is also very helpful. I'm trying to remember, I'm not gonna lie, I forget where you go to look to see where your gems are. For example, I know I have gems that are ready for my account, or that are on my account. I'm just spacing in general, like where they're at. Oh, here they are. Yeah, they're they're under. I knew I've seen them, right? Stats, materials, they're a material. Fragments here, gotta go combine them all, and then you can utilize them. I don't typically start worrying about that until I hit the level 50. That's when I start really utilizing them and whatnot, because right now it just feels so overpowered. Then I'll start socketing them all. But I do absolutely love the fact that they're in here and not taking up all my space, because notice that if I had all these in my inventory, I would have already filled that stash tab. So that quality of life has been huge. Now, downsides, things that I've noticed that I haven't really liked. So one, general gameplay feels good, feels clean. Doing progression here, you know, Battle of the Fear, like, you know, we're doing the vampiric stuff, season quest coming up here. You know, we're on to chapter 2. I just completed. Yeah, I just completed. I think that yesterday I completed that, and I kind of logged off. Now we're on to chapter 3, and we're almost done with it. Getting all the way up here to the final chapter won't be hard. We'll get there, right? Everyone will get there. But it's been fun. Make that progression. Do the stuff. Do the thing. Get slash reward. Get slash whatever it is. But it still is a little lackluster on content to be doing. Now I know Duriel is a boss we can face. Obviously you have the Uber Lilith. Once again, those are really for the in-game grinders. Like, those are the guys going to go around and do everything all the time. Those are going to be the guys who are going to be farming like one dungeon over and over again. That's not me. I'm the casual player. I represent the more casual type genre out there, and that's just not something that really appeals to us. However, they did do a very good job with implementing the vampiric stuff to where I do feel inclined to level these up and to go around and do the vampiric areas, right? Like, if I wasn't recording this video right now, I'd be over here just killing things, trying to level them up, get them all done. Same thing with like you would for Hell Tides, right? But doing it for over here, because these don't go away. There's a lot of pros and cons, a lot of enjoyment to be had with that. However, this is great. It's really, really good for leveling. Doing dungeons without sigils, though, is horrendous. Not because they're super long. They're not hard. They're pretty quick. But do you guys remember, what was it, season 1? Was it the 3rd, maybe the 4th patch in season 1? Because they were pretty fast. I think it was the 3rd or 4th pack. They actually increased the pack durations, pack sizes with the sigils. So for example, when you wanted to do a dungeon, you could legitimately do a dungeon with a sigil, and you'd have a very, very high mob density. Now, unless you're doing sigils, it's not, you don't have a good like I never noticed it because the patch came when I was already doing nightmare sigils, so I never did any regular dungeons. Now that we're in season 2 and I am doing some regular dungeons because I'm trying to get my aspects right, like it always just makes sense. Go ahead and grab the aspects that you need for your particular build. Just kind of what you should do. It's not hard if you got the ones that don't require natural drops, and that you can actually just go ahead and beat whatever dungeon to get said aspect that you need for your build. You should definitely be doing that right from the rip. I did that for about 6 of them that I really wanted to utilize kind of as progression into my build, and it was really irritating because those dungeons, one, they aren't necessarily quick. They still do take a little bit of time, but the mob density was so horrendous that like the XP gain per hour was horrible. Like it was just waste my time. And yeah, I was just trying to get the aspects, so that's why I did it. But it's just one of those things where if you're going to be forced to do content, make it enjoyable, make it a little bit more balanced, right? Like I shouldn't have to use a nightmare sigil just to increase the mob density. Like that's pretty embarrassing, to where the point where like I'm just farming this right now for XP, because that's what's more enjoyable for me, because there's multiple goals that can be had here. But yeah, overall in general, it's been great. And honestly, like guys, like simply being like, hey, when we did this and we got to get all these right here right from the beginning because we did them on the last league, not have to worry about the renown is massive. This is the biggest quality of life change and increase that I've seen with Diablo 4. But honestly, I was thrilled. It made me want to play for hours upon hours. When I saw this, it was like, oh, I don't have to worry about it. Sweet. And I was able to click a button, skip everything, and immediately come in with all these skill points. Like, hello, come on, easy peasy. Gotta love it. It's been very, very nice. I will not complain about that at all. Now, there are other things that obviously we could complain about. And at the end of the day, this is season 2. My prediction from the beginning, along with everyone else's, was, hey, by 3rd season, we'll have a complete game. I do find it really bothersome that from the time of launch till now, how much change and updates they made to the game. When they kind of told us before it was going to be like season 3, season 4, late season 2, we'll see these changes, and yet they're kind of, everything's coming at once, and then it's a massive, like, it's almost as if it almost feels as if like, hey, you finally finished the base game, you know, and now they're leaking with like, oh, there's gonna be an expansion, stuff like that. Like we're not there yet. It's bothersome. I don't necessarily like it, but hey, I'm not going to go anywhere, right? I'm still going to cover Diablo 4. I'm going to cover Path of Exile. I'm going to cover Last Epoch, because to me, those are the 3, like that's the trifecta for ARPG games. And right now it is a new season on Diablo 4. So I'm going to go ahead and play this. I'm probably going to get my character up to like level 80, maybe level 91, and I'll probably be done. That's probably going to be it. I'm only going to play the rogue this season. Next season, I'll try like Necro maybe, or maybe I'll do Barb because I haven't done that yet. But yeah, overall in general, the game does feel good. A lot of quality of life changes. We're definitely progressing in the right area. One thing I would love to see, I hate that I have to hit the map and do all this shit. Give me an overlay. Give me an overlay, please. Pretty please. That's gonna be my last gripe. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure to like, subscribe. I'm gonna try to keep the content coming. Probably not gonna do everyday uploads, guys. Like, I'm not gonna lie to you. I've been gone for a while. I've been trying to do things with my wife. I've been trying to spend more time, be a better husband. We're trying to do IVF, trying to have a kid, have a family, and I'm also trying to get healthy. So actually, I'm probably gonna start streaming again, and I'm gonna probably do like use my rowing machine for like a minute for every death in game or something like that. So if you see me go live on Twitch, come over. I'm going to start adding some channel point redemptions where you guys can mess with my game a little bit, like deploy some buttons here and there. Maybe that gets me dead and I got to do some rows behind me and stuff, because I actually have the rowing machine right behind my green screen, so I can just pop it down, do a few rows, you guys can laugh, have a good time. But yeah, I'm just kind of like doing my life thing, right? Like trying to get my life more better together. And so I do apologize if you are someone who has really enjoyed my content and I kind of fell off. But at the end of the day, I'm going to do me, and I really hope you guys do the same thing and do you. And hopefully the content that I provide for you helps you out. If it does, make sure to like, subscribe. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.